For me, real-life politics is really exhausting to keep up with. As a result, I know more about the fake 1936 politics of the Kaiser-Reich universe than modern-day politics right now.
That's fine. I mean, no one can fault you for not wanting... Like, a lot of people try to say, I'm not very political, I'd like to stay out of politics, and then they'll weigh in anyway with their misinformed nonsense.
Yep.
Like, it's a problem. If you're going to not be political, then you can't hold yourself to this double standard where you pick and choose when you're going to weigh in on things.
I just make sure I don't talk about anything that I don't know anything about.
I don't think there's enough of that. Like, people don't have that filter.
No, they just talk about whatever they feel like.
I'm not very political, but...
But, when the but comes in...
you say, but the very opening clause of your statement has you saying that you are not political, it immediately devalues everything you're going to say afterward.
You just basically said that you don't pay attention to politics and have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but here I go anyway.
You're not paying close enough attention to actually have a valid opinion supported with facts, figures, and other supporting evidence. But
if you just left that off, your statement have at least a little bit more value.
Yeah, even if you're telling lies, at least you're not demolishing your credibility before you even begin.
Call yourself out.
You ever get those people who are like, I'm not political,
but...
And then they do the fucking thing where they like... And then they go on a rant about... I guess so. I mean, I forgot. I started it up again and then forgot to stop it.
Okay. I'm gonna hurtle over the couch.
Don't break anything.
So people who are like, I'm not political, but... And then they say something really political.
And then they go off on this politically charged tangent.
For like 10 uninterrupted minutes.
Yeah.
But they've already taken the piss out of themselves because they said, I'm not political.
They called themselves up before they even started.
That's like the same as people who are like, no offense, and then proceed to say something offensive.
Offense,
and you're like,
I'm not a racist, but...
See, I leave those parts off to say what I was going to say anyway.
Yeah.
You're wasting breath.
That's more honest.
Time.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like at that point it's like, you're very obviously about to be political. Like,
yes.
You're basically warning me. I don't know. It's like...
Fair warning, I'm about to say something I know nothing about.
And especially in this day and age, it's like, why even bother tacking on the, I'm not about to be political, because so much is political. But like...
Everything is politics.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember a time when things weren't politics.
Because I was like 8.
No, I feel like things have gotten more political since 2016. Because
sure.
I don't... Maybe just because I'm...
No, people didn't care before that. People just didn't care before that. It was mostly old people.
Yeah, I feel like I don't... Even in like...
Now that it's mostly old people, and a lot of old people hold conservative beliefs, like, we have to go out there and vote now. Because... I mean...
We have to.
Because, like... We're the new generation, obviously. Like, it's our civic duty to vote.
What if no one votes?
Is it, though? Ooh.
Well, then whoever does vote...
What if no one
votes? What if everyone, like, boycotts?
What if everyone stays home?
Everyone just makes a pact? No, because then everyone's agreeing to not vote. Like, what if... that's a really interesting...
I don't think anyone's ever thought of what they'd actually have to do if no one showed up to vote.
Oh, no, but that's
you
like...
You can't convince every single person who is voting age to not vote.
What if you don't have to convince them? What if they just decide they don't want to?
What if... He's saying hypothetically, and that's a good hypothetical. It would be like game theory. It would be like... What is it?
Well, the volunteers at the polls are probably very, very bored.
What if no one volunteers even? What if they just stay home?
Yeah. And who leads our country? Anarchy. We fall into anarchy.
I don't think anarchy is as bad as people make it out to be.
No, it is. Trust me. Like, well, here's the thing is, with anarchy, like, there's no one to stop you from doing anything. Really, so, like, the whole thing keeps people in line is, like, you have the police. The police are going to come and stop if you try and, like, do something you shouldn't be doing. But if there's no threat of police, then really what's stopping? Like, if you're going to break into somebody's home, like, you're already assuming you have to, like, contend with the person in the home. So that's not going to stop you. It's the threat of, like, help coming. Yeah. So if no help is going to come, what's stopping you?
But I think most robbers are going to break into the homes regardless of the risk of police. And, like, I'm not going to break into someone's home, but I think if the police disappeared, I wouldn't just be like,
well, that's the difference between a burglary and a robbery. A burglary is when you try and not have anybody find out until after you've already done it.
Oh, okay.
Robbery is like you run into a 7-Eleven, shove a gun in the guy's face, and take the money in the register.
Well, I wouldn't...
Do you have a trash can down here?
I don't think so, actually. just leave it on the table and go upstairs later.
This good solid table. Made for
This
everything,
good table.
including
It's a
holding
good table.
trash. No, but I feel like with anarchy, like even if the people are well disciplined enough, or like if they kind of understand, I guess, society, they won't necessarily like.
Do we even
need that
understand
rule.
live?
They won't need that government if they can be self-governing. But the problem is people, like for example, when the teacher leaves the classroom and like you're a little kid, kids are like, oh, the teacher's gone, like let's cause havoc. But like I don't know, when you get to like high school at a certain age, the teacher leaves the class or whatever, kind of just like does their work.
Yeah.
Like no one, it's no different than if it.
We all just go on our phones.
Yeah, no, we do.
I don't know.
I don't do my work. I don't do my work when the teacher's in the room. So I have my laptop, and I'm not typing notes. I'm playing Hearts of Iron 4, probably.
Priorities.
You need to get a game that's primarily typing. Or
Hearts of Iron 4 is just clicking. That works.
Okay.
But like I feel like in some positions, like if an authority figures weren't present, it would still like be okay. Like I don't know if that would work on a societal scale, because like in the classroom it's just the understanding that like okay, I guess everyone's doing their own work.
Well,
if the
that's the
teacher
thing,
leaves,
though. Well, the classroom example doesn't really work, because in the classroom example, you assume the teacher's coming back in a relatively short amount of time.
That's fair.
And even if they never come back, someone else is probably gonna.
Okay, that's fair. So
Like,
anarchy.
what are you going to do in the classroom? There's like more.
The fact
staff.
that everyone is still in the classroom is a testament to that they believe that.
that someone will come back.
Yeah.
So anarchy is like, imagine.
The
That would
Purge.
be odd. Yeah.
But even the Purge.
No, that is anarchy. There's no rules.
The Purge is anarchy, but only up until
That's
all the crazy
That's a
people.
good point.
See, the problem with the Purge is their main thing was originally it was a political thing that was used to, like you find out in the third movie.
It becomes like a religious cult type deal or something.
Well, actually, it was like the real rich and powerful people trying to kill off poor people.
Right.
Because unemployment was at an all-time high. The low-income housing was like riddled with crime, even without the Purge.
It's been awesome. I saw
And so
it.
they were like, the Purge is going to save us because it lets you let out all of your anger and do all the crime that you would do the rest of the year to theoretically lower crime rates. But really, it was just a ploy to kill poor people,
Yeah.
which you eventually turns out. But with
Wasn't
the
it like a
Purge-
ritual sacrifice at the end of the third movie, though, or something?
Yeah, because rich people were like praying to money, and like they had like
So
this,
it was a religious
they
cult.
had like this. They had like this lady who is like, I guess like the stand-in Democrat for the, because she was like who's running for president. She was like,
that's
"I'm a
right. That's what it
not-
was.
I'm a not do Purge, yeah.
That's right.
And so like that was her whole platform.
Oh, and then everyone was like,
But then the rich people were like, kill the lady.
So they
Kill the
that's
no
right. So they
Purge
hired
lady.
like a team of special ops operators to
To like
kidnap her.
track her down and kill her. And that was also the same year that they.
why couldn't they just pay someone off to like not vote for her? I feel like that'd be a lot easier.
Because Purge night.
oh, okay.
You have to make
The
an
movie doesn't
example of
work
her.
if you don't do it that
It was
way.
also
Fair.
it was also to make an example of her. Like
Oh,
if you
okay.
could.
That is also true.
So, but the whole thing was, at a certain point, the Purge, like, as a, I guess as like a biological thing, was to weed out the people who are, like, the big...
So the Purge is
big-
Darwinism is what you're
It's
saying.
essentially Darwinism for one night a year. So you would kill off all the loony people who would commit crimes, right?
In theory, they all kill each other.
And in theory, all the people who are going to commit crimes anyway on Purge Night are going to kill each other. Like us, probably not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Maybe get some money from a convenience store, but like low-level misdemeanors kind of shit.
Yeah.
At the same time, the people that would probably still stay home because the odds of running into like the Joker is way too high.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
stay
and
home.
that's the thing. A lot of people were staying in and just not going out because all the crazy people who were killing people
would
for
kill
funsies,
themselves off, or at least
either they'd get killed or they'd be killed the
On 'em.
next year because
Yeah.
people find out who they are. Like, if you went ahead and killed my whole family and I knew who you were, I'd just wait until next year and kill you then.
Okay.
Or I'd just
Die trying.
die
That's
trying.
an interesting
Exactly.
concept. I guess.
So it would be like Darwinism. All the crazy people and all the people who were going to commit crimes anyway
Would
would
kill
do it on
themselves
Purge
off.
Night, and then all the murderers would essentially murder each other because they're the only people running around out in the streets.
But I feel like there would always be one murderer left.
Well, it's not like he can breed more.
I mean,
And there's of course always the chance that the two people the two last people just hit each other with fatal stab
that's
wounds and they
true.
bleed
Yeah,
to death.
they both kill each
that's
other.
fair.
So, and then like in the movie, it was just like it had reached its natural end game where the criminals weren't going out trying to kill each other anymore. Pretty much, like the level of homicides per year during the Purge was at like such a dramatically low rate
Because all the crazies have been killed
all
off.
the crazies had been killed off, and the poor people weren't killing each other as much as they were expected. So they actually hired mercenaries to go out and kill people on Purge night.
Okay.
So that's
it was
like the
more
main.
than just criminals killing criminals. They were like, we also want to weed out the poor people.
It was politicians hiring mercenaries to just.
Okay, so
deplete
not
the
just
poor
criminal
population.
Darwinism, but
It was-
also like fiscal Darwinism, sort of.
Yeah,
The third one is very much a political statement.
the third one is very, very political. I
Yes.
haven't seen the fourth one yet.
How is
I've actually only seen the third
just
one.
because of the two
So
parties?
the first one sort of touches on the divide between the rich and the poor, because there's like the main family. The son lets in a poor person who's running from crazy rich
That was the
people.
daughter, not the son, right?
It was the son who let in the,
That was the son,
guy.
okay.
The daughter was just trying to fuck her boyfriend.
Oh, that's right. Then the boyfriend's like, I'm going to kill your dad because
and then
he's
he
like,
gets shot. in
don't
the first
bang my
10
daughter.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the crazy rich people are saying we have to kill the homeless pig.
oh,
Like
that's,
that's not what they said. Like they just hate homeless.
It's like a
people.
bunch of like basically frat kids that show up with like
Yeah.
creepy masks
Oh, damn.
and like pretending to be like
And so
something from Arkham City.
It turns into a precursor to the whole rich poor divide. And then in the second movie, you move into an urban area where you watch like the like low income black people, basically, like what their interaction is, and that's when the mercenaries were introduced. You can call them death squads because it's funnier, but like that's when the death squads were introduced.
It's not incorrect.
because that's a few years after the first movie, and that's at the point where all the crazies have stopped killing people, and the poor people aren't killing each other anymore. So they're like death squads,
Yeah.
and that's what happens.
Objectively, they're not awesome movies, just from a film standpoint.
No, they're as a piece of art, not very
They're
good.
pretty god awful.
Yeah, I mean the underlying things are interesting to think about, but in the context of the movie, they're not explored very well. It's meant to be more like an action suspense.
Yeah, and they're just shot stupid. Like in the first movie, there's an uninterrupted scene, 15 minutes of a guy just walking around the house with a flashlight,
Yep.
trying to find the homeless guy. Uninterrupted, nothing happens that whole time.
But it's like, I mean, part of that is suspense, I guess.
It is
Like, if you
suspense
think
For
about it-
15 minutes.
because the guy's a stranger and you don't know if
Yeah.
he's gonna like kill the people in the house,
Yeah.
but he's mostly just hiding,
Yeah.
trying not to like get found, because otherwise the crazy rich people are just gonna kill him.
Yeah.
So
It could have been a better movie.
the setup was there. The whole universe is more interesting than the movie.
Yeah, the concept is cool, but the execution is just
Yeah.
The
mediocre.
execution?
Yeah.
Yeah, the third movie they get increasingly better just because they have better budgets each time. And,
That
like,
is true.
just better cast.
They make a lot of money in the box office. Or they did. I don't know if they still do.
I feel like
The third movie was fun because Purge tourism became a thing.
Oh, yeah, they saw
where
that bunch
people
of
from
bunch
other
of Gopnik.
countries-
It was all Russian people.
Oh, 'cause the Purge
people
is
from
just an
other.
American
It was
thing.
just an American tradition, I guess.
Oh, God.
And then
At one point, a bunch of Russian Gopniks come in and start like,
Yeah.
"We're going to kill you."
exactly like that. Yeah,
That's so
and they're like,
weird.
we like the idea of the Purge, so we're going to come and purge.
And
have
do
some-
it.
We
We
can't
have some of
take
the fun.
part in your
Do you need a-
American
do you need-
fun
do you
time.
need like a American citizenship to purge, or is it just anything goes?
No,
It's not-
no
it's-
rules.
No rules for 12 hours.
That's so like.
All crime, including murder, is legal. So theoretically, immigrancy would be legal.
Oh, so it wouldn't even matter.
Well, I mean, after it's done, though, you don't have any. It's not like you have any paperwork, so it's, you're now an illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
I don't assume those
that's
people
true.
showed up before the 12 hours and like got a hotel or something. it just makes sense that
Yeah,
way.
hotel seems
Yeah.
like a good place to be during the purge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have locked
they probably have
doors.
security.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know security.
No, they probably have security.
Yeah, but security's people in hotels, right?
Well,
you could
in Purge
actually-
world, they have
in
like
Purge
metal
world, they have-
doors. Doors.
Yeah, in Purge World, like, you can actually get purge insurance. So whatever damages happen during the purge,
Purge, you
you
can-
get...
You can also get like
That is so smart.
you can also get like Death Star blast doors to put on your house.
Yep. In the first movie, the family was, the husband in the family was actually, like, a major developer of these purge security systems. And that's how he made his fortune. And all of his neighbors are jealous of him.
Just didn't have the idea first.
Yeah, and also, like, they have to see his house get bigger at their expense. Because they all had no choice
Yeah.
but to buy from him, because he was, like, the only one doing this
Selling it.
thing.
It's that or get purged.
Yep. So, yeah, that was, like, the whole thing. And then, yeah, the whole purge insurance thing was one of the plot points of the first movie, or the third movie. Because the guy was a shop owner, and he was late on his insurance payments. And the premiums had just gone up because it was like the night of the purge.
Oh.
Yeah,
And so he couldn't pay for it, so he decided to stake out
and protect his shit
protect
because
his-
it's Purge
Oh.
night.
his thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his little bodega or whatever.
Yeah.
It was a convenience store. I don't know why I said bodega. He's not even Spanish.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's not at all what it was.
No, not even close.
Such a like scary concept. I don't know. I feel like
It would only be scary for like the first decade. And then after
I guess
that,
if you were born into it and you just grew up and you're like, oh, this is a thing that happens every year.
Also, a lot of people that are eager and participating would be dead after 10 years.
theoretically, yeah.
But like, imagine you're a child and you're like born into it. That just be like a norm for you, like the way like I don't know. I'm trying to think of something equivalent in our society that like people just grow up.
I don't know. There really
understanding.
weren't children in those movies.
No, not really.
Probably
the
not,
youngest,
'cause
the
you don't wanna see
youngest
kids.
kid would have been like what, 15?
And that was the son from the first movie.
Yeah, probably a little bit
And
younger than 15.
he had like a bug out shelter in his room, so it was
Yeah.
like, whatever.
No, I'm thinking more like as like just a societal thing. Like for example, if we had this in our society and like
We
how
live in a society.
Bottom test.
Sorry, that's the new meme. Just
It's the hot fresh meme.
yeah.
wait, what is it?
I am a gamer not because I have no life, but because I hate women and minorities. Bottom test. We live in a society.
We live in a society. It's like those memes with the big block text, and then
Yeah.
it would only be like just like the top text, and then bottom text would just be left with the default bottom text,
Oh, okay.
and then that's what people say.
It's like gamers rise up, like the gamer uprising.
I've not seen this.
So it's just dumb. It's, just
It's
people
very
saying
stupid, but very
things.
funny. It's very, very funny.
But in our society that we live in,
Today.
a society,
Yes.
Purge.
Like imagine if you're just like a little
So
kid and you're
there's-
born.
There are rules to the purge, where like if you're a public figure of a certain ranking or higher, you get exempt from the purge. Except in the third movie,
Where they're like, nah.
because in the third movie they were trying to kill the senator who was running for the president and would try to roll back the purge.
But then what ends up happening is all of those politicians got
Right.
killed
The
instead.
problem is, yeah, because she was of highest ranking, they revoked that for that year. But then all of the other politicians also made themselves vulnerable so that they could get her, and then they all end up
Because
dying.
the gamers rose up and attacked them.
Exactly. So, yeah.
No, but I feel like I don't know. My main thing is just like, would that become like we see it as like this? Oh, like this is a crazy thing. But like if you were born
Crazy
into
taboo thing.
yeah,
See,
but
I
if we
think
were
it's
born
like-
into a society where they did that every year, like kind of like almost the Hunger Games, kind of like oh, this is like a normal thing. Like this is just what we do. Like maybe you just be like numb to it, or you just be like oh, this is normal.
It would
Gotta
also
prep
be
my
dependent
legs.
on how your parents feel about it, or whoever was raising you.
Yeah.
Because that's like... if,
So like
your
everything
parents
else.
are totally against it, then odds are you, as an offspring, would probably also be against it.
Or you'd rebel and decide that you're totally for it.
And then kill your parents in the purge. And
Yes.
then
Oh
my
have
God.
No financial backing after
Yeah,
the
how are you gonna
purge.
get prepared for college?
Steal all their
Life
money.
insurance.
Oh my god.
You know, I feel
that's
parents
horrible.
probably do take out life insurance in Purge world all the time.
Yeah.
Because they get killed if they get purged.
That happened in the second movie because the girl's father, the girl character, her father was dying. Like, he had, like, pancreatic cancer or something. He wasn't going to live, or I don't even know. It was cancer of some kind. And so he, between his life insurance and the rich people have this weird thing where they like to, like, do, like, a weird ceremony and kill poor people for some reason.
Like I said, it's like a religious
would-
cult type
They
deal.
would pay poor people to, like, let them be the victim for their purge. So he used the money that he got from that weird ass family to, like, give the daughter money to, like, keep going to school, pay rent, and, like, raise her daughter.
Sad.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he was gonna die anyway, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and it was a sacrifice in more than one way,
that's
I
like
guess.
convoluted.
Because that's basically what he was. He was just sacrificed
Pretty
to
much.
those weird people, and then
sacrifice to
sacrifice to
Cthulhu.
that for the good of his daughter and his granddaughter.
it's not a terrible decision.
It's not terrible. It's just a little.
I mean, yeah, in terms of logic chains and flowcharts, I guess.
I mean, his two options are basically die and give his daughter lots of money, or die and give her nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in their situation they didn't have any life insurance anyway,
Probably not.
so that was like the only way to get money.
See, for us, that's like a culture shock, or at least for me, I'm like, wow.
Well, it's a culture shock because we don't have a day where we run around killing
Yeah,
people.
But then
That's good.
alternatively,
Let's-
if like people in Somalia saw it, they'd be like, only one day? What? That sounds awesome. That's
Oh my.
yeah, it's like it's only a culture shock for Americans and really the whole Western world. For fuck's
Yeah.
sake, dude.
what is going.
I'm trying to get a napkin so I can blow me.
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Montville's too white bread for anything to really happen here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We might get
it's-
some influx from like Parsippany
or Booten.
or Bhutan or even like Hiawatha.
Yeah,
like-
definitely.
Oh, you're saying if the Purge were here? I don't know. I
If
feel like.
a purge happens all over the United States for 12 hours.
Yeah. I guess I feel like there'd be a decent amount of
I
vandalism.
mean, I'm just saying, if you liked were poor and your options were steal from poor people or steal from rich people,
Yeah.
Yeah,
steal
Yeah,
from the rich
that's
people.
true.
Montville would probably be the place to be. I mean, my house is scary on its own, so
Yeah, people don't want to go there as it is.
no.